The sun had just set behind the tall towers of Enchancia castle, painting the sky in orange and purple hues. Inside her cozy room, Princess Sofia sat curled up with a blanket, reading an old storybook about the Witch of Whispering Woods. Clover was snoring softly beside her, twitching his nose with every page flip. But suddenly, a strange flash of green light shimmered outside her window, not like lightning, not like fireflies, something magical. "Clover, did you see that?" she whispered. The little rabbit opened one sleepy eye, mumbling, "Probably just one of Cedric's potions exploding again." Sofia smiled, but the light flickered again, this time moving deeper into the dark forest. Her curiosity sparked instantly. She slipped on her cloak, grabbed her amulet, and tiptoed out of the castle. Clover hopped after her, muttering, "Why do I always follow you into trouble?" The forest at night was unusually quiet. The leaves glowed faintly under the moonlight, and every step Sofia took made the ground sparkle. Then she saw it, a tiny cottage covered in moss and ivy, tucked between the trees. A soft humming came from inside. Sofia knocked gently. "Hello? Is anyone there?" The door creaked open by itself. Inside, shelves were stacked with potion bottles, feathers, crystals, and glowing stones. A teapot floated mid-air, pouring itself into cups. Sofia gasped. Then a soft voice came from behind. "You shouldn't be here." Sofia turned around to see a girl about her age, with messy brown hair, a cloak too big for her, and a wand that shimmered weakly. Her eyes looked kind, but sad. "I'm sorry," Sofia said politely. "I saw the light and thought someone might need help." The girl hesitated, then sighed. "My name is Lyra. I'm a witch. Or at least I'm trying to be one, but I can't control my magic." Sofia smiled gently. "Maybe I can help. I'm Princess Sofia of Enchant. My amulet helps me learn magic sometimes." Lyra's eyes lit up. "Really? You'd help me?" Before Sofia could answer, a gust of wind swept through the cottage. Bottles rattled, the candles blew out. The floor glowed with strange symbols. "What's happening?" Sofia cried. Lyra clutched her wand. "It's the forest. It's reacting to my magic again, but this time it's stronger." The symbols on the floor burst into green fire, and suddenly Sofia's amulet shone brighter than ever. A voice whispered faintly from it, "Beware, the shadow of the forest." The light faded, and everything went still again. Lyra looked at Sofia with trembling hands. "Something's coming. Something I can't stop." Sofia held her hand firmly. "Then we'll stop it together." Outside, dark clouds began to swirl over Enchancia. From deep within the forest, a shadow moved, watching the two girls, waiting. The adventure of the little witch had just begun. The next morning the castle buzzed with activity. Servants polished the floors, bailiwick arranged flowers, and Sofia sat quietly at breakfast, stirring her porridge without tasting a bite. Her mind was still lost in the events of last night, the glowing symbols, the eerie voice, and Lyra's frightened eyes. Amber noticed her silence. "You're awfully quiet this morning, Sofia. Planning another adventure?" she teased. Sofia smiled faintly. "Not exactly. I just met someone in the forest, someone who might need my help." Before Amber could ask, Sofia's amulet began to glow, a strange green hue instead of its usual soft purple. The glow pulsed, almost like it was alive. Bailiwick gasped, "Your Majesty! The amulet is glowing at the breakfast table again." Queen Miranda looked concerned. "Sofia, is everything all right?" Sofia nodded quickly. "It's okay, Mom. I think it's warning me." She excused herself and hurried straight to Cedric's workshop. The old wizard was busy mixing potions, but when he saw her amulet, his face went pale. "Good gracious, that shade of green, that's dark forest magic." "Dark forest magic," Sofia repeated. Cedric adjusted his glasses. "It's very rare and dangerous. It comes from the deepest parts of the enchanted woods, where magic grows wild and uncontrolled. Whoever's practicing it is playing with forces far beyond their skill." Sofia frowned. But Lyra isn't evil, Cedric. She's just scared and confused. She didn't mean to cause harm. Cedric sighed. Intentions don't always matter when it comes to wild magic, Princess. Even the kindest heart can unleash a curse if they're not careful. Sofia looked down at her amulet. It flickered again and whispered softly, "Seek the mirror of truth before the darkness grows." She looked up, determined. Then I'll find that mirror and help her before it's too late. Later that evening, Sophie returned to the forest. The path looked different now, colder, dimmer, and whispering strange voices. When she reached Lyra's cottage, the little witch was sitting by her cauldron, her wand trembling. "Sophia," Lyra said in relief, "I didn't think you'd come back." "Of course I did," Sophia replied warmly. "We're friends now, aren't we?" Lyra smiled shyly. "I tried to fix the spell from last night, but every time I cast it, the forest reacts. I think it's angry with me." Sophia placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Then we'll calm it together. My amulet said something about a mirror of truth. Maybe that's what we need to control the magic." Lyra's eyes widened. "The mirror of truth? That's just an old legend. They say it shows your heart's deepest magic, good or bad." Before they could say more, the ground trembled softly. The trees bent toward them, whispering. From the shadows, 2 glowing eyes appeared, watching closely. Sophia turned, gripping her lantern. "Who's there?" No answer. Only a low, rumbling laugh echoed through the forest. Lyra whispered, "The forest isn't just angry. It's alive." The wind howled, and the glow from Sophia's amulet intensified, a warning of what was yet to come. Somewhere beyond the trees, something ancient had awakened, and it was coming for them. The next day dawned gray and misty. The enchanted forest was quieter than ever. Even the birds seemed to hide from what was coming. Sophia and Lyra stood outside the little cottage, cloaks pulled tight, eyes filled with determination. "Are you sure about this, Sophia?" Clover asked nervously from her shoulder. "I mean, searching for a legendary mirror guarded by who knows what sounds like a bad idea." Sophia smiled. "Maybe, but if that mirror can help Lyra control her magic, we have to try." Lyra looked at her gratefully. "No one's ever tried to help me before. The villagers near the forest think witches are dangerous." Sophia's heart softened. "You're not dangerous. You just need guidance." With a deep breath, the 2 girls followed a narrow path winding deeper into the forest. The trees grew thicker, and vines glowed faintly underfoot. Strange whispers floated through the air, words neither of them could quite understand. Suddenly, they reached a clearing with an enormous stone arch covered in carvings. In its center shimmered a pool of silver light. "This must be it," Lyra whispered. "The mirror of truth." Sophia approached carefully. The silver pool rippled as if sensing her presence. Her amulet glowed softly, casting a warm purple hue across the surface. Then 2 reflections appeared, hers and Lyra's. But something was different. In Lyra's reflection, the forest behind her was dark, filled with thorny vines and swirling smoke. In Sophia's reflection, it was bright and full of light. "What does it mean?" Sophia asked. A voice echoed softly from the mirror, ancient and kind. "Every heart holds both light and shadow. What you nurture will grow." Lyra stepped closer, trembling. "I didn't mean to let the darkness grow. I just wanted to be strong, to prove I could do magic without fear." The mirror glowed brighter. "Strength comes not from power, but from inness." As the words faded, a beam of light shot from the mirror straight into Lyra's wand. It shimmered brilliantly for a moment, then dimmed again. Lyra gasped. "It's working! I feel—" But before she could finish, the ground cracked beneath their feet. Dark vines shot up, wrapping around the stone arch. The silver light of the mirror turned green, twisting and swirling into a shadowy form. A deep, echoing voice boomed, "You cannot break what is bound. The forest belongs to me." Sophia's heart raced. "Who are you?" The shadowy figure rose higher, its eyes glowing emerald. I am the guardian of the woods, protector of the old magic. You have disturbed the balance. Lyra tried to speak, but her wand sparked wildly, reacting to the shadow's power. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to fix my mistake. The guardian's voice thundered. Magic born in fear must be cleansed or consumed. Sofia stepped forward bravely. Then take me instead. She was only trying to learn. The shadow hesitated, then whispered, You would sacrifice your light for her darkness? Sofia nodded. A true princess protects her friends. The air shimmered, the vines loosened, and for a brief moment the forest fell silent. But as the girls turned to leave, a faint laugh echoed behind them. The shadow wasn't gone. It was following them, hiding within Lyra's wand. Something dark had begun, and Sofia didn't yet realize how dangerous it was becoming. The forest seemed peaceful again, but Sofia could feel that something was wrong. The silver pool of the Mirror of Truth had turned still, yet the air hummed with quiet unease. As she and Lyra walked back to the cottage, the shadows between the trees seemed to move, watching them. By the time they reached the little home, Lyra looked pale. She clutched her wand tightly. Sofia, I don't feel right. It's like something inside me won't stay still. Clover hopped nervously around her feet. That's not good. Not good at all. Sofia placed her hand on Lyra's shoulder. It's okay. We'll figure it out together. Maybe Cedric can help us. He knows a lot about dark magic. Lyra hesitated. Cedric? The royal sorcerer? He doesn't like witches. Sofia smiled. He doesn't like competition, but deep down he's kind. You'll see. The next morning the two girls went to the castle. Cedric raised an eyebrow when they entered his workshop. Princess Sofia, I told you to stay away from that forest. I couldn't, Sofia said softly. Lyra's in trouble. The forest magic attached itself to her wand. Cedric frowned, peering closer. Yes, I can feel it. A residue of shadow energy. Whoever touched that mirror awakened the spell of shadows. The spell of shadows? Lyra whispered fearfully. Cedric nodded gravely. An ancient curse that feeds on a witch's emotions. Fear, anger, sadness. It grows stronger with every doubt you feel. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. Then it's my fault. I let it in. Sofia held her hand. No, it's not your fault. We can still fix it. Cedric sighed and reached for his spellbook. There might be a way. According to legend, the only way to break the spell of shadows is with a spell cast from pure light, magic born from love and truth. Sofia looked down at her amulet, which now glowed warmly. Maybe my amulet can help. It always responds to kindness. They began preparing the spell. Lyra stood in the center of the room, surrounded by glowing candles. Cedric chanted softly while Sofia focused her thoughts on friendship, courage, and hope. At first it worked. Lyra's wand glimmered with soft pink light, and the shadows began to fade. But then a dark whisper echoed through the chamber. You can't hide from me, little witch. The candles flickered out. The air turned cold. Lyra screamed as a dark mist swirled around her, lifting her off the ground. Her eyes glowed green. I can't stop it, she cried. Sofia stepped forward. Lyra, listen to me. You're stronger than it. You're kind and brave. Don't let it win. For a moment, Lyra's expression softened. The mist hesitated. Sofia grabbed her hand, and the amulet shone brighter than ever, filling the room with light. The shadow hissed and vanished, but not completely. A thin trace of darkness slipped into the air, escaping through the window, heading back toward the forest. Lyra fell to her knees, exhausted but free, for now. Cedric wiped his forehead. It's weakened, but not destroyed. The spell of shadows always finds its way back to its source. Sofia looked out the window at the forest's edge. Then we have to go back. We have to end it where it began. Far away, deep within the trees, two glowing eyes opened once more. The guardian was waiting. The night sky hung heavy over Enchancia. Stars flickered weakly through the clouds, as if even they were afraid to shine too bright. Sofia stood on her balcony, her amulet glowing softly in her hands. The whisper from before echoed in her heart again. Return to where it began. She turned to Clover, who sat beside her nervously munching on a carrot. "I have to go back, Clover. The forest won't stop until we end this curse." Clover sighed. "Why can't we ever go somewhere nice, like a picnic, or maybe a bakery?" Sofia smiled faintly. "Because this time, someone needs us." At dawn, Sofia, Lyra, and Clover began their journey. Cedric stood at the castle gate, holding his wand. "I've prepared a protection charm for you," he said, waving it gently over Sofia's amulet. "It will guard you from the shadow's reach, for a time." "Thank you, Cedric," Sofia said sincerely. Lyra bowed her head. "I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused." Cedric grumbled, though a small smile escaped him. "Just don't destroy my castle when you come back." As the group entered the enchanted forest, a thick fog began to roll in. The trees whispered and shifted, forming new paths, as if the forest itself were alive. Lyra's wand pulsed faintly. "It's guiding us," she murmured. Hours passed until they reached a massive clearing, and in the center stood an enormous ancient tree with silver roots glowing through the ground. The air shimmered with magic. "This must be it," Sofia said in awe. "The heart of the forest." As they approached, the tree's surface rippled like water. A face slowly appeared, the guardian. Its eyes gleamed green and gold. "You have returned," the guardian boomed, "but you bring the shadow still within you." Lyra stepped forward bravely. "I didn't mean to. I want to make it right. Please tell me how to break the curse." The guardian's gaze softened slightly. "Only by giving what the shadow cannot take. True sacrifice." Sofia frowned. "What kind of sacrifice?" Before the guardian could answer, the ground shook violently. The air split with a roar as the shadow erupted from the soil, larger and darker than ever before. Its smoky tendrils lashed toward them, striking trees and tearing through the air. "It's found us," Clover squeaked, diving into a hollow log. Lyra raised her wand, but the shadow laughed. "You are mine! Your magic is my home." Sofia's amulet blazed with light, forming a shield around them. "You won't hurt her!" she shouted. The guardian's voice thundered over the chaos. "The heart must be sealed. One must offer their magic, forever." Lyra gasped. "If I give up my magic, the curse ends?" Sofia turned to her quickly. "No, there has to be another way." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "Magic caused all this pain. Maybe losing it will bring peace." She raised her wand, stepping toward the glowing roots. The shadow screamed, swirling around her. Sofia tried to reach her, but the light became blinding. Then, silence. When the light faded, the shadow was gone. Lyra stood still, her wand turned to crystal, her magic gone. Or so it seemed. Sofia ran to her, holding her close. "Lyra, are you okay?" Lyra smiled weakly. "I think it worked." But deep within the ancient tree, a faint spark of green still pulsed, quiet, waiting. The battle was far from over. For the first time in days, the enchanted forest seemed peaceful. Sunlight broke through the trees, and a soft breeze carried the scent of wildflowers. Sofia helped Lyra sit beneath the great heart tree, both exhausted but relieved. "It's finally over," Sofia said with a small smile. Lyra nodded slowly. "I can feel the quiet. The magic's gone from me, and so is the darkness." Clover hopped out from behind a bush, brushing dirt from his fur. "No more creepy vines or scary voices. Count me in for that kind of peace." Sofia laughed, though something inside her didn't feel right. Her amulet, usually glowing gently after magic was restored, was completely still. Not dark, not bright, just silent. As they made their way back toward the castle, the forest seemed unusually still. The birds weren't singing, and even the leaves didn't rustle. Lyra stopped suddenly. "Do you feel that?" Sofia frowned. "What?" "The air. It's colder." Before Sofia could respond, the ground trembled. The ancient tree behind them groaned, and a faint green glow seeped from its roots. "Oh no," Sofia whispered. The glow burst upward in a swirl of dark mist, forming a shadowy spiral that climbed toward the sky. It was the same whispering voice again, but louder, stronger, and angrier. "You thought you could destroy me, little witch? I am your magic!" Lyra stumbled backward, eyes wide with fear. "No, I gave up my power." The shadow laughed, twisting around her. "Your power, yes, but not your heart. You still doubt yourself, and that doubt is mine to feed on." Sofia stood firm, her amulet beginning to flicker again. "You can't have her. She's not afraid anymore." The voice hissed. "Even light casts a shadow, princess." The ground cracked open beneath them, and dark vines erupted once more, separating Sofia and Lyra. Clover yelled, "This is definitely not over," as he scrambled to safety. Sofia tried to reach Lyra, but the vines grew too thick. Lyra's cloak was caught, and the shadow coiled around her like smoke. "Sofia!" she cried. "I'm here!" Sofia shouted back, her amulet now glowing fiercely. "Don't let it win!" In desperation, Lyra lifted her crystallized wand, though powerless, and clutched it to her heart. "You don't control me," she screamed. "My magic was never yours." The shadow howled in fury, but before it could strike, Sofia raised her amulet high. A beam of golden light burst from it, cutting through the darkness. For a brief moment everything froze, the vines, the trees, even the shadow's voice. Then, with one final shriek, the darkness retreated back into the depths of the forest, vanishing beneath the earth. Silence. Sofia fell to her knees, trembling. Lyra ran to her, tears in her eyes. "You saved me again." Sofia shook her head. "No, Lyra, you did. You faced your fear." Lyra smiled faintly, but her eyes lingered on the forest. "If the shadow could come back once, what if it can come back again?" Sofia looked at her amulet, which now shimmered between light and green. "Then we'll be ready." As they turned toward home, far beneath the heart tree, a tiny spark of green still glowed, faint but alive, waiting for its moment to rise once more. The story wasn't finished yet. Days passed since the battle in the forest, but Sofia couldn't shake the feeling that something unfinished lingered in the air. The castle had returned to peace. Laughter filled the halls again, and even Cedric was back to grumbling over spilled potions. Yet the glow of her amulet still flickered between violet and green. One evening, as Sofia watched the sunset from her balcony, she whispered softly, "What are you trying to tell me?" The amulet glowed faintly and whispered in a gentle voice, "The light within must awaken, before the forest sleeps forever." Sofia's eyes widened. "The forest? It's still in danger." Without hesitation she ran to find Lyra, who had been staying in a small guest room in the castle. Lyra looked better, calmer, though her wand remained dull and lifeless. "Sofia," she said, surprised. "The amulet spoke again," Sofia explained quickly. "The forest isn't healed yet. The shadow might still be trapped inside the heart tree." Lyra's face paled. "Then we need to go back." Clover hopped in, munching on a carrot nervously. "Of course we do, because what's a day in our lives without danger?" Sofia giggled softly, but her expression soon turned serious. "This time, we finish it, for good." As night fell, they returned to the enchanted forest. But this time, it wasn't dark or frightening. The trees glowed with faint blue light, and the path to the heart tree opened before them like it was guiding them in. When they reached the clearing, the great tree stood tall and silent. Its roots pulsed with dim green light, weak but still alive. Lyra approached it slowly. "The shadow's still here. I can feel it, waiting." Sofia placed her hand on the bark. "Then let's remind it what real magic feels like." The amulet around her neck began to glow brighter, pure golden light. It spread outward, surrounding both girls in a warm aura. The air shimmered, and a gentle hum filled the clearing. From the shadows beneath the tree, a voice hissed weakly, "You cannot destroy what lives within the heart." Sofia's eyes softened. "Maybe not destroy, but heal." She turned to Lyra and smiled. "The mirror said that what we nurture will grow. You've been fighting your shadow, but maybe what it needs is forgiveness. Lyra took a deep breath, tears forming in her eyes. She knelt before the tree and whispered, I forgive myself for being afraid, for losing control, for thinking I wasn't good enough. The moment she spoke, her wand, once dull and lifeless, shimmered with soft pink light. The ground trembled, and the green glow began to fade, replaced by gentle gold. The shadow's voice grew weaker until it dissolved completely into light. Sofia and Lyra stood hand in hand, bathed in the glow of the heart tree. Flowers bloomed where the vines once crept. The forest was alive again, healed. Clover peeked out from behind a log. Please tell me that's the last evil forest spirit we'll see for a while. Both girls laughed, tears of relief glistening in their eyes. As they walked home under the stars, Lyra looked up at Sofia. Thank you for believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Sofia smiled warmly. That's what friends do. They see the light inside you, even when you can't. Her amulet shimmered one last time, bright, peaceful, and full of warmth. The forest rested, the magic restored, and two friends walked side by side toward a brand new dawn.